Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Link Plays Minecraft. Today we're going to be looking at the 1.5 update that just came out this week. Some major changes particularly to do with the redstone workings, so let's take a quick look at some of those. One of the first things that's really neat is they've now added new pressure plates. One that's a heavy pressure plate, one that's a light pressure plate. One cool thing is that the player's weight does not affect these whatsoever. What does is items. So, start with the light pressure plate. You start throwing items on this. Notice just right away starts affecting it. And the more you throw, the further the redstone goes. The stronger the current gets. Until about that far. Now the heavy pressure plate takes a lot more, so I still throw down a whole stack. It only lights up 2. Or a whole stack on this pretty much lights up the whole thing. So it's good if you're demanding more from a player in an adventure map. So like even 3 stacks only lights it up 3. And then the next one is the Redstone Comparator. Now, not sure exactly how myself I would make use of this, but some interesting things is it detects the difference between this torch, what's coming at the back, to this torch. If it's set so the switch is up, like this, it puts a difference. So it's the difference between this spot and this spot is 1, so it's allowing 1 to go through. You take one of those away, and I see it'll go 2, and kind of keeps going. It's not a matter of how many torches. See, as I remove other torches from other spots, it's the difference between the closest torch to this torch. And then this one is just an activator. So if this detects that the torch on this side is closer than this one, it just throws full torque right through it, kind of like a repeater. If it's further, then it just won't allow the current to go through until it hits that point when it is closer, and then it gives the full power again. So probably some good adventure maps can be made again from this. Some interesting levels can be made. Be interested to see how some map makers make use of this. Now for some really good ones for survival, and also some others for using it in adventure maps. Get rid of this other torch, put that back. One for the adventure maps is they now have a trapped chest. Now I'm using a texture pack called Vortex Vanver, but even they made sure to put the kind of similar change in here. You'll notice that the latch on this is just slightly tinted redder than the normal latch, and that does happen on the normal one as well. And as soon as you enable this, it sends out a redstone signal. So some applications of this is I'll show you in the back here what I did is I used the new redstone block that's attached to a piston right here. So these trap chests will only give enough power to go 1 block distance. That's it. So it's a very, very short amount of space. But you can also go 1 down, so it does power the block underneath it. So this is a good way to make sure it's well hidden. That pushes the redstone block through here. That sets off this redstone and this one, which I have hooked up to a trapdoor here. And the other one you could use, in this case, like I have a dispenser with skeleton eggs up there. So that could spawn a skeleton, or drop them into a pit of lava, as you can see here. So some interesting things have come from that. We'll see how people use that. And also this is a nice one. This one I'm really gonna enjoy using. Whenever you're making things, say like a door or slabs, you're always going click, 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 and sometimes you're getting it wrong. Now you just have to hold your right click and just put the items in. You don't have to let go. You just slide item across it. And then the other way, so you right click, you'll just put one in at a time. If you left click, it'll actually distribute evenly, leaving the difference in your click, in your arrow. So it's good for making, say, like you want to make a pile of trapdoors or whatever you need to make. So it really helps with things, especially like if you had to make a helmet, or say you're making for a few people, you can do that. So that's going to be great for survival, especially when you really have to craft something quick, like in Hunger Games. Now this is another new one. I'm going to switch to creative here for this. Is that you can now name mob eggs. So let's say we want to rename our chicken here. So we have our mob egg. Right click, and there. It shows the name above it. Kind of a fun little thing. So if you want to have a whole pile of different names for chickens, you can. Have some fun with that. Name things whatever you want. Great for having some fun with friends or playing tricks or whatnot. Or especially the good part with this is going to be, again, adventure maps. So you can name not just like chickens and cows, you can name skeletons or any mob, and whenever the player goes over it, it's that. And the other cool thing is that if you get killed by them, like say it was a skeleton and it kills you, the thing will actually say it was killed by that name. Set back to Dave for now. Another new one that they brought out now is the hopper. I have to. These chickens are going to drive me nuts until I kill them here. One sec. Yeah, you're free. You can go. You go. Oh, fail. Doing great today, guys. I'm destroying the set. Alright. So, the new hopper. So, the hopper works with taking or putting things into chests, furnaces, or most items that you would put items into. This is going to be really great for furnace sets. So, this is a great kind of setup here for a house. So, you put the iron ore in the top. You would put your coal into here, so for go into the back. You can have it onto the sides as well, like I did over here. But I found it more aesthetic to put it on the back so it's not showing. And then if you enable your hoppers, because when you have a redstone current going into the hoppers, they will actually stop. They won't work. So if I turn this back on here, you'll actually stop feeding it. So it loads the things into the furnaces. The other best part, so let it go for a bit here, we'll see you have two. You turn these ones on down here for the hoppers, you can actually have it set so it will unload back into the chest. And they didn't show it. Oh, I know I did. The other key component is you have to make sure you have your chests or your furnaces done before you put down the hoppers. So like that. And then you put the hoppers down. See, I made that mistake when I built this. You'll see as things cook here. I'll have to fine tune that a bit. It's supposed to come out the back like that. That's why. Silly Link, you have to actually click the item you need to be placed on. So now it's funneling into the chest. So go. So that's gonna be really cool for when you're building a house. You just gotta make sure the hoppers are going the right directions. So here's the other change. We all know about the dispenser. Great for putting out traps, like shooting arrows. But they now have the dropper. So works kind of similar, looks similar in here as a dispenser. But the difference is instead of dispensing and shooting things, it'll just drop them. So this is good again for adventure maps if you needed to say instead of hitting people with splash potions, you want to give them some splash potions. As say like an achievement or whatnot. So great properties going to be in there. Now for one of my favorite kind of new redstone enhancement is the new daylight sensor. You have to craft this now with one of the new ores, the Quartz ore. You'll find those in the nether. But what it does is detects daylight. So being that it is like high noon right now, you got a full amount of light, so it's powering this as far as it can go. If I set it closer to nighttime here, you'll see it's not getting as much light, so it's not sending out as much of a current. And it's not affected by anything like glowstone lamps or redstone lamps. It only detects the sunlight. And you'll see as the sun sets, you'll see the redstone will start to deplete, the lights start to go off. I saw this in another video too. You can create a fun little lamp that in it there's a piston that's being powered by a daylight sensor, and as soon as nighttime comes and there's no more daylight, the piston disables and pulls the redstone block up, which powers one block away, similar to a torch. Except nice thing is just you can actually use a sticky piston with it. And there we go. Turns on the lights. You got a nice way of using redstone lamps without it having to be dark, or without it having to use a switch. This is the new redstone ore, or sorry, quartz ore that they've added into the game. And you're going to find this in the nether. And of course, just like any other ore, you have to use a pick to pick it up with. The nice thing, don't think you can use a wooden pick for it. Oh. Help them actually in survival. Oh, it will. So right from wooden pick, right up to diamond pick, will work to obtain the nether quartz. And the nether quartz is what you use to craft things like this. Be sure to check out the Minecraft wiki, you'll see all the recipes for that stuff. You'll also be able to make quartz ore, or quartz block, quartz chiseled blocks, pillars, which can be placed kind of like tree trunks actually. They have the lines like a tree trunk and the edges. And you also have quartz stairs and quartz slabs. So there's some nice nice new builds able with that. It actually looks a lot like marbles, so be interested to see some cool castles that might come out of this. Well, let's set back to daylight here so we can actually see. Now, another new thing that they've done is they've made skeletons a bit more dangerous, I guess, where they are to be a ranged mod. So you're not supposed to really go up and slash them with a sword or an axe or whatever your weapon of choice is. You're actually going to need to use your arrows for the most part to kill them. So I'm just getting a little bit ready here so I don't get slaughtered. Oh, I can't type today. Especially when I can't see what I'm typing. So you'll notice how the lines are, so. Oh. Also have the mods turned on. So there we go, we have a skeleton there. First off, the further away his aim's, well, to be lacking. There we go. And it's a fairly slow rate that he's shooting at me. The closer I get, you know, so faster he starts to shoot. So making it quite hard to be able to get up here and really get some good shots on him. Most part, you're going to have to now fight arrow to arrow with these guys. Now this is kind of a interesting new, oh god, I'm covered in arrows. Interesting new type of minecart. We now have the minecart with a hopper in it. So this is going to be handy for whenever you're, say, like in a mine and you're dropping lots of cobblestone and ores. This thing here kind of works like a vacuum cleaner. So get it started rolling here. And just anything you drop, it's like a vacuum. It's going to pick up. That's being pretty decent proximity to the rail. And then you stop it here. You'll see the items are in the top of the hopper there. Means that too that it does have a limited amount of space. Now, another thing, and I don't know if anyone really else has really tried this yet, is you can actually, again, use the hoppers themselves to make kind of like a dispensing area. So once you know your hoppers might be getting a little bit full, you can use this, which I'll do. Right ahead, grab those. Hopper here. Sure that I use something that you know that wasn't just picking up random stuff, so we're going to throw these things down. You'll see it should only be able to pick up about 5 sets of these. See, it won't pick up the final set. Let's run out of room. What I'm going to do is turn this now. So it goes up here, and what's going to start doing now is dispensing its contents to this chest. So it's being sent through the railway. You can actually shift click and put the rail above this. It's dispensed down in order into here. And then once you're done, you can put a switch here. It'll stop the actual current actually too, so if I actually turn this off again. If I turn this off, it will stop. Oh, I guess I took that out. Thought you should stop that. But disable that. Alright, turn this on, then you can give it a push, and back off it goes. So that's gonna make picking up those little cobble bits at the end a lot easier. So let's go take a look as well now at the TNT cart. Do that, we'll go to the roll. And here we are. So I'll just set up a little basic demonstration. Let's say if you have a cave and you're just wanting to go and start excavating stuff and you just really want the cobble, or just really you want to blow some stuff up. Got the new TNT with minecart. You craft this the same way with like a furnace and minecart. You just have the minecart put the TNT in it. So it's a lot of cost of iron when you think of it too. 5 pieces of iron and TNT just to send it down the rail. So kind of up to you if you want to really use this. But you send it down the rail, and at the end of this we've got a protect rail, so I'll actually stop you for now. Let's notice that it's being powered by a bit of redstone there. And what that's going to do is ignite the TNT as soon as it touches it. So you'll hear the TNT ignite. And there we go. Got a nice little caverned area. Did take out the redstone torch that you need to work that. But you'll notice too, the rail itself and the blocks underneath it are still intact. They will not destroy the rail that they're still on. Now another way of blowing the TNT up itself, this here is not enough space to do it. So if one of these were to fall off this edge, 2 blocks, it won't blow up. But if you have 4 blocks distance between the end of the rail and the fall, it'll actually blow up. And because it's not on the rail, it fell off, it will blow up the rail. So it's good if you really just want to start tunneling down. You can just start pushing these off and start making your tunnel downwards. Again, kind of expensive to do this. There's the thing, I'm using 5 pieces of iron ingots every single time I do this. Well, for the most part, other than just little bug fixes and whatnot that they've done, one thing they haven't fixed yet is some of the lighting issues. Hopefully I'll bring that out in 1.6. But for the most part, a lot of fun new stuff, and I think some great things that some adventure maps will really make use of. But if you do enjoy my videos, be sure to click that like button down below. If you do want to see more of my content, be sure to subscribe to me on YouTube as well as Twitch. You'll see the Twitch link below. Also, be sure to leave any comments of anything you want to see me do in the future. Usually me and Zelda are doing these recordings, so if you want to see her in something else as well, feel free to leave a comment. But with that, guys, later days.